Hi, I'm Mike with River King Outdoors and your fishing report coming up. This is Saturday morning, so we're gonna go with what's happened over the last few days and what the future has in store for us. This is gonna be a long one, so please buckle up, get yourself something to drink and enjoy the video. There's gonna be a lot of announcements I gotta put out right now because we haven't put out a report in quite some time, but if you can sit through that in return, I am going to go over tips on how we've been getting these striped bass and smallmouth bass over the last week and actually go through some baits with you. So sorry guys, but you're gonna have to sit through some announcements. Okay, first one, dove season. We are guiding again this year for dove season. That runs from September 1st through September 15th. Our local area here is going to be open for dove hunting, and we do have some dates available. However, some of them are booked up already, so check our website right here at arizonawaterfowl.com to get your available dates for that. Just click on the Dove tab. Second, we are partnered with Ducks Unlimited. As Ducks Unlimited approved guides, we're partnering, and they are going to be raffling off at their Scottsdale dinner a guided dove hunt for two with a couple over-under guns. You can see that here in this window. A couple of 20 gauge over-unders. You can get tickets at this website here for the dinner in Scottsdale, Arizona, and also join the raffle to win yourself a trip with us. Ducks Unlimited's going to be giving away 2 guns with that, and a lot of swag's gonna come when you meet us in the morning to go hunt with us, and we're partnering with Ducks Unlimited for that. Please support this organization. We are working on a very big project out here in Western Arizona that I can't get into details yet, but just know that that money that is raised, that we help raise with Ducks Unlimited, is going to a very good cause. We'll have announcements on that sometime in the future here. Next, our waterfowl season with Arizona Waterfowl Guides is getting booked up quick. We only have 1 lodge left for limited to 4 hunters, 3 days, 3 nights, all inclusive. That's all your meals, all your bird cleaning, waterfront lodge. You get nice rooms here. There's a bar, sports bar right here on the water. Hunt all morning, fish away the afternoon. Right out front of here, there's great fishing on John boats, kayaks. We hunt all morning, ag fields, river, marsh, you name it. We are the official guides out there on the tribal lands. We own the commercial use permit for the marsh that's here in the area. All licensed guides. Anybody who's been out with us will test. Very professional setup. Very few dates left for that all-inclusive trips. Actually, there's only 1 set of dates left in December, and then we have 2 spots left on a lodge stay in the middle of December, but check the website for available dates. We do have single day hunts available. However, those are just about all booked up. January is completely full. December is halfway there. And we've just released some November dates, saying that we're gonna have water in the area this year. So we did open up November as well. But those dates are filling up as well. So if you do want to hunt with us this year, do not wait to the last minute. You will be out of luck. We will be filled up before the season starts. So again, visit this website right here to get your dates. We also have a couple of river trips for the striped bass available for this Thursday and Friday. We've been very booked up, hence why I haven't been able to put a report out. We have just been absolutely slammed out there guiding and haven't been able to put the report out, but I do have a couple of dates open for drift boat trips this Thursday and Friday on the river. Again, you can visit this website to get booking info. You can give us a call and we'll get you all dialed in. All right, now that you've sat through all of that, let's get through to the good stuff. The bite is hot for striped bass in some areas. Some areas it's not, but the areas that it is, it's on fire. Up at Willow Beach, large swim baits for the striped bass. There has been a lot of big fish being taken up there. So on swim baits, Huddleston's, those Garcia baits, Jerk baits and glide baits all working up there. If you can time it around the trout stockings, as trout stockings do continue up there, you're going to get into a big one. Nighttime has been the best time. Get there at sunset and fish into the night, and you're probably pretty much going to hook into something there. Fish from a kayak if you don't have a boat to get out and the shore's not cutting for you. Get out on a kayak, all within 1 mile of that launch area or where those striped bass are, so it's not that big of a deal to paddle around and get them. Trout up there are being caught in big numbers if you get there a day or two after the stocking on worms, power bait, Mepps rooster tails usually get the trick done, and even small jerk baits. If you have the 1.5, 2 inch Berkley jerk baits, those are working for the trout as well. Moving down the lake in the Catharines area and Cottonwood Cove. Let's start with weather. It's hot out there. Temperatures ranging from 105 to 115. Getting out in the early morning is very important for the smallmouth and largemouth bass. These fish are deep and on the outside rise in 20 to 40 feet of water. Drop shot has been the way to go. If you're going to beat the banks, crankbaits are working and spinner baits in the shallows, but you're going to find the majority of the fish are going to be caught on the drop shot in various baits. I like to use the robo worm. I know it's like repeat, beating a dead horse, but hey, the baits work. Robo worms in the morning dawn color, straight worms in 4.5 or the 5.5 inch. Black grape has been working well, and the margarita mutilator colors. Find those deep rises with bait on them, and you're going to get into some smallmouth. Backs of the cove spinner baits, crankbaits for the largemouth. Not a lot in the shallows, again, because it is very warm. Water temps around that 80 degree. Striped bass in the Cottonwood and Catharines Cove area has actually been not too good, actually pretty dead. However, smallmouth, largemouth in the Catharines Landing area, same deal as Cottonwood Cove. You're going to find them deep on those outer rises out on the main lake in 20 to 40 feet of water. Jigs on the southern end of the lake are working really well. I've been using a 3/8 jig in dark colors. You can use a plain swim jig head with the Yamamoto double curly tail hula grub in watermelon with red flake. That's been my favorite. Jigs just worked real slow on those outer rises, is also working in addition to those drop shot baits. Now for the big news, we're going to go over the river, and then we're going to go over the weather and winds and baits. Below Davis Dam, that striper bite has been wide open if you are fishing properly. You can get these from the shore and off the banks. The anchovy bite, not very good. Jerkbait bite, hasn't been so hot lately, but what has? We're gonna go over those baits right now. So a little bit of strategy change that we have been doing out there on the river is, a lot of people call them Demiki rigs. I'm not gonna go that far. That's a technique we use for bass. But what we're using are soft baits with ball head jigs here. This is the Bass Assassin this is not the Bass Assassin. This is the Berkley Crush City. If you notice, there's no tail on here. It's a straight tail. And we're using ball head jigs. But the difference with these is the eyelet is right there on the top. And how we're working these, we're using these on 8 to 10 pound fluorocarbon, casting them, and you're not swimming these. You're bouncing these, because these baits aren't swimmer baits. These baits rock back and forth, and you jig them up and down, bounce them and move them up and down. Now, they're not going to catch a lot of giants, but they are going to catch numbers, and that's mainly what's up here in the river right now, are these little taco size fish in the 12 to 15, 18 inch fish. That's what you're going to get on these. Every once in a while, you're going to get a big one on them, but what's in the river right now are those smaller school-sized fish, and again, that's what they're being caught on. Now, I'm going to show you the different variations of these. Now, also the Yamamoto. This one you can swim it a little bit, but again, you're going to want to bounce these. Now the name on these, I did pick these up at Bass Pro, and this one is the Light Flash, it's called. The actual name of the bait is kind of worn off on there. This one later in the mornings has been working good as soon as the sunlight comes out. Same thing with that Bullhead front. These darker colors, and this is the Crush City Berkeley in the sunfish color. Absolutely love that bait in the mornings. This is your Yamamoto, again in that flash color. I find these at Bass Pro. Now the Bass Assassin, the shad color with the dark gray and silver bottom, has been smashing it, and I'm using a 1/4 ounce jig head on these with the eyeball on them. Again, working it the same way. It's got those straight tails. These things are crushing it out there. Again, that is the Bass Assassin. And also in this color here, they're calling this one the Silver Phantom. So this has got clear white with black flake. Again, it's got that straight tail. It is the same as this, the Bass Assassin. You can find these at Bass Pro. I've been using these on the plain jig head, like what I have here on the Crush City, and also with the eyeball and 1/4 ounce. Been using, these are the Eagle Claw 3/8 ounce. You can get these at Walmart. I like the 3/8 because of on these smaller baits. Actually the more wider body, you can tell these Crush City's got more of a wider body. So I like to use the 3/8 on these guys, and then the 1/4 ounce on these guys. Again, those jig heads you can get at Walmart. The next bait that we've been using, this is in the shad color. This is the 6 Sense Flush. Again, now it's got the flat tail, so you're gonna work this the same way. It does have the split on there, not so much the straight. You can cut that split off and use it as a rocker, but I bounce these more than anything, and they do have the flat tail. This is the 6 Sense 5.5 Flush. Another bait that's working real well, the Lunker Hunt little swim bait. These are a lot like the Kitex. These come pre-rigged. Get these pretty cheap online. I think these cost about $4. Comes with 2 extra baits, and it comes with the head, with the weed guard, and again, this is about a 3.5, 4-inch bait. Again, you can swim these ones because they do have that boot tail on there. So these ones you can swim and bounce, catching a lot in these. In this darker color and the white, not sure what they're called. This one doesn't have the color named on here. Tennessee Shad, I'm wrong. Tennessee Shad and white. So Tennessee Shad and white. The next bait, when it's been getting a little tough out there, going to these Yamamotos. Again, these are the Shad Swim Worm, they're called. And I'll put a 1/4 ounce on there, and these dark gray, same thing. It's got that straight tail, a little bit smaller of finesse. If the bite's not good, we'll drop the bait size down and finesse these on that same deal with the jig head. Again, they're the Yamamotos. And the color on these ones are, again, it's worn off, but it's a darker shad color. A lot of these darker colors, you don't have to be totally specific. This is just the color that I got and that I like. The next ones that we're using when it gets later in the day, these Zoom Flukes, Golden Bream and Chartreuse. Same thing, I like to use the 3/8 on these. It's kind of a root beer color with a chartreuse tail. It's got the flat tail, so you're not swimming these, you're bouncing these and just kind of getting them through the water column until you get a bite. Working very, very well in the middle of the day with these. And last but not least, the Yum Breaking Shad in tinfoil. Again, when the bite's getting a little tough and these bigger baits aren't working, we'll size them down. You can see just that much makes a huge difference. And these Yum, this is the Breaking Shad tinfoil color. I like to use the 1/4 ounce head on these. And a little tip on these, when you're putting these ones on, I tend to cut about that much off of these because you can see that profile is a little bit long here and it doesn't go on that head very well. So I'll just cut, a good 1/4 inch off of this guy so that it snugs up on the head and you don't get this all twisting up and binding up on there so that it does swim right. Okay, Hopefully, guys, that helps you out on the river. The bite out there, it's wide open. We're catching 30, 40 fish every day. It's going off out there. So get out there, and that's in the Laughlin and Bullhead area. Now for winds, we got light winds all this week, as you can see here on this chart that I'm going to go over. Saturday today, we've got where the winds are starting off at 0 to 5 out of the southeast. You can see that southeast, these arrows moving on the southeast here. As we get later in the day, it's going to shift more out of the south, and then actually shifting out of the southwest. Coming up, but again, they're gonna be light and variable. It's gonna get to gust up to 17 miles an hour today on Saturday, which is nothing really big. If you don't like the wind, then you're not gonna like fishing out here. Sunday winds starting off the same way. Again, it's gonna be coming out more directly out of the south at 0 to 5 degrees until about 10 o'clock, and then rising up to about 8 to 11. It's gonna continue to come straight out of the south. So if you're below Rotary Park, that wind's going to be coming straight up river for you. If you're in the Laughlin and Bullhead area, it's going to be more of a left to right wind if you're facing down river. Again, later in the afternoon tomorrow, it's going to go to that 14 to 17. It's going to continue to come straight out of the south. Monday, going to be a little bit more windy Monday. It's going to start in the mornings at that 0 to 5 miles per hour. And that's going to be coming more out of the southwest. So it's going to become a little bit diagonal there. Again, 10 o'clock, it's going to raise up to that 5 to 8. Then it's going to be coming out of the west-northwest. And it's going to be a little bit more nasty out of there. That one's going to be out of the west-northwest, as you can see here on the chart, in that 11 to 14 range, and then later in the afternoon, 17 to 20, and it's going to be coming straight out of the west when it gets to that 17 and 20. Tuesday, 0 to 5 in the morning, straight out of the west, so you're going to find the Nevada side of the lake is going to be very calm. Bullhead, Laughlin area, because of the way the direction that wind's coming out on the river, it's going to be very calm, 0 to 5 until about 9 or 10 o'clock. And moving up to the 8 to 11, and that's going to be coming more out of the west-northwest. And then right there late afternoon, 3, 4 o'clock, 17 to 20 mile an hour gust. But again, that's coming straight out of the west, so if you're on that Nevada side of the lake, you're going to have a lot calmer winds. Now, I'm not going to forecast this past Wednesday because we know how things just completely change out of here. That would just be throwing shit on a wall and seeing what sticks. So we're not going to do that. Temps in the morning have been bearable in the 85 degrees. It's going to continue on to that. And but the afternoons are hot, 115, 105, 115. It's blazing out there. Now, next, river depths. So let's get to that here. Saturday, today, you're going to have 4 units most of the day and 3 units as the day moves on. So let me pull that up for us here. James Dam, water release schedule. All right, so Saturday today, it's going to be 4 units until 7 a.m. By the time you watch this, it's already going to be down to 3 units and going back up to 4 units around 6 o'clock on the river here below Davis Dam. That water, 3 units is pretty safe, 4 is definitely safe. However, on Sunday, it's going to be 4 units until 4 a.m., 3 units until about 5 or 6, and then it's going to drop down to 2 units. So be careful out there from the hours of 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. That doesn't mean that it's automatically going to be up. When it goes back to 3 units at 9 a.m., it's going to take an hour or 2 to fill up. So till about 10 o'clock, it's going to be at 2 units. So if you got your boat out there and you're in a good spot with water, stay there for those couple of hours till that water comes back up to the 3 units, and then it's safe to boat again in this area. Now Monday, that's all going to change. It's going to be 3 units until 7 a.m. and it's going to run 2 units all the way down to 3 to 4 p.m. on Monday. So pretty dangerous out there. So just get a kayak out there. If you got a kayak, great time, because there won't be a lot of boats out there with 2 units running. You're going to have that place to yourself as far as the boat traffic goes on Monday. Tuesday, same thing. Going to be 4 units until about 7 a.m. and drop down at 8 a.m. To 2 units and run 2 units until about 4 o'clock. So again, kayak is probably the way to go for Monday, Tuesday, Sunday. Just be mindful that it is going to drop down to 2 units for a couple of hours and then come right back up. So for those hours on Sunday, make sure you're already in your spot. If you're launching right at daylight, hold that spot. If you're on the fish, find the fish, stay on that spot while the river's low, wait for it to come back up before you start boating again. I watch guys just about every single day while we're out there guiding rip off their bottom end somewhere in this area because they don't look at the schedule. So you can just Google Davis Dam schedule to see these schedules. Again, I hope that this report has helped you guys. I encourage everyone to get out there and catch some of these fish out on the river. Even up on the lake for smallmouth fishing, the striped bass, not so much up there, but out on the river, it is on fire. We really appreciate everybody's support. Again, sorry that it took so long for us to get the report out. We've just been busy guiding out on the river. We've been full again. So you do have the opportunity to fish with us this Thursday and Friday. I've got 1 boat available for Thursday and Friday. That's drift boat fishing on the river for striped bass. Thanks for all your support. Again, get out there and fish. Thanks and have a good one. We'll see you soon.